Our final segment, Kayla Knows Nothing. Kayla Knierim's ongoing journey through the series. She is a newbie to the show. She is watching them one episode at a time. We are up to season 1, episode 8, The Pointy End. And Kayla, any just general impressions of this hour?
So confession, Dan. I jumped ahead and I watched this episode last Thursday because I just had to know what happens. And then I watched the episode after that. We won't talk about episode 9 until next week. I've needed time to cool down, calm down, I'm very upset.
I mean, I think you're seeing, you're just, it's happening
You're
for you.
creating a monster. You're doing this.
You're falling in love with the show.
I needed to see more.
Exactly. Just couldn't help yourself.
Well, I do know that Arya and her, her mentor,
they
teacher?
call him a dancing master. He's a sword fighting teacher. Sirio Forel.
The last we saw of him did not look good.
Didn't look good. I mean, he was defending her nobly against the Lannister guardsmen.
It looked like at one point he had them all down, except for the main guy.
Meryn Trant. Actually, a favor you can do me. Remember who that guy is. Meryn Trant.
The big scary man?
Yeah, the big scary one. His name is Meryn Trant.
Meryn Trant.
And he works for the Lannisters. He's a Kingsguard. He'll turn up again. Just keep in the back of your mind for a while.
So he didn't die.
I guess I just spoiled it for you. I'm sorry. He didn't die.
Because I didn't know if the dancing master died or not, which it didn't look good. I mean, he knocked down everyone. What's his name? Meryn Trant?
Meryn Trant.
Was still kicking, and then the other guards came back
too. Chopped the sword in half, too.
And then, why was he using I guess, is that like an
training.
instructional sword?
He wasn't having on Hanks and not up to that yet, I guess.
Cut his wooden sword in half, and then cameras cut to Arya, and we don't know what happens. But
at least she got away.
She did get away.
Better that than
assuming
being a
Dancing
prisoner.
Master is Dunzo.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. But there's a lot of theories out there. Do you think Sirio Forel's still out there? I know some people do. And I think Arya, do you think Arya got off better than her sister? Who's in a better position in
I'd
this
rather
episode?
be Arya.
Really? You'd rather
escaping, yeah.
But she
away
has,
from
no one. And then
the
she kills a
Lannisters.
kid.
Yeah, she did. I think she's distressed. Her family's kind of falling apart.
Definitely distressed.
Dad's locked up. Dancing Master probably died right after she left. And she seems kind of independent, though. I think she's good
independent,
on her
you're right.
own.
I mean, do you think that there'll be psychic damage from murdering in self-defense, but still, she killed a kid.
Did anyone see that?
No one saw it.
Will she have guilt?
It's quite possible. Would you? But then again, it was a very intense situation she was running from.
I don't think she meant to do that.
I don't think so either. I think it was just kind of
seemed out of character for her.
Yeah. Anyway, but Sansa, the other sister, did not escape, although it looked like her Septa, the lady who kind of shadows her, the older lady, is gonna bite it, or at least didn't do well. I mean, that was kind of a.
Oh yeah, she was approached by a couple men.
Lannister guards, yeah.
That did not look good either.
No.
Shoot, dropping like flies.
Everyone's going. But anyway, okay. So my question for Sansa is, Cersei kind of talked her into writing this letter to her brother and her mother, saying Joffrey's the king, Ned's a traitor, come and pledge fealty. Because what they're trying to do is, calm everything down. Mm-hmm. They would rather not have a war.
Yeah.
And Sansa did it. And then at the end of the episode, she kind of begs Joffrey to have mercy on Ned. Mm-hmm. Do you have sympathy for her, or do you think she should be, fighting back and more fierce about her family, what's happened to them?
I think she's in a tricky situation because she wants to impress the queen. She wants to
marry
Joffrey.
Right.
But I don't think she's doing a good enough job of sticking up for her family and putting them first. I think she needs to fight a little harder, but she's also kind of in at their house, so it's what are you supposed to do?
Right, I mean,
hands are
these
kind of
people
tied.
Will kill people.
Right.
So I wonder if she did fight up more, she might not live through that.
That's also true. I think she could have. Did they proofread her letter? I would have written something else in the letter.
Oh, I'm sure that letter was proofread all over. They may have even just written it for her and then asked her to sign it, or at least just told her exactly what to say. Then not leaving a good chance there.
Yeah. But yeah, she's in a tricky situation. There's not a whole lot she can do.
I tend not to blame her too much because I do think that if she fought back, she might go the way of the dancing master and her poor Septa.
Yeah. These people don't mess around.
They don't mess around. And the last, another scene in King's Landing was Ned in the jail cell. He's hanging out. He has been defeated, betrayed by Littlefinger. Varys comes to visit him, the bald eunuch.
Yep.
So, any impressions of that guy? He's continuing to kind of show new colors to himself. Do you buy his line? Like, why is he helping Ned?
Because he helps the realm.
He does help the realm. So, do you buy
that means everybody, right?
It would seem.
He's not on one side or the other. He's not with one family or the next. But yeah, what does that mean? Like, stand for something.
Yeah, stand for something. Remember,
Save Ned.
If we can recall, he was one of the dudes who was walking around the dungeons when Arya was hiding and saying that, talking about Daenerys coming over and conspiring to make it easy for her.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe he's with her. He's with her.
He is with her. And
Possibly.
the realm.
And the realm. Because what's best for the realm might be Daenerys in charge.
Ah. Okay.
We'll see. He's interesting, though, I think. There's like a nice moral ambiguity going on with him. You don't know exactly where his loyalties lie or what he's thinking, but he seems like a decent-ish guy, if kind of creepy.
I definitely think he's creepy, but he hasn't done anything to show that he's
been
harmful
nice.
in any way.
I mean,
yeah.
he gave Ned water. That's about it. But he's still been nice.
Kept him company for 3 minutes.
I mean, it's bad in that dark cell. It's just lonely.
Yes.
Anyway, so that's King's Landing. Any other comments there? There's a big throne room scene with Joffrey looking on the throne.
Demoting people, kicking people out.
Yeah. We'll
That
return there very
Joffrey.
shortly.
Okay.
Anyway, elsewhere, a lot of movement around this week. In the north, Robb wanted to go to war, call those banners, was going to take this line down. His father's kidnapped. He's going to go fight the guys who did it. You approve of his decision?
I do. Fight for your family.
There you go. Yeah.
Go, Robb.
And then we got our first, Starks are splitting up. He had to leave Bran at home, which makes sense. They're not going to take him, the boy who can't walk, on the war.
It's just baggage.
It's just baggage, exactly. Which like
I
that
love
one
Bran.
scene, good. Which like that one scene where he was trying to recruit allies, and I think his direwolf leapt across the table, bit off the fingers of the dude he was trying to.
Yeah.
That's kind of gross.
And then he was laughing about
But
it.
he seemed to like it, or he seemed to at least respect it.
Right.
So Robb is tough, but fair.
And then Catelyn catches up to him.
Yeah, after a really brief stopover in the Vale, where I was watching the scene, like, the little kid kept, like, trying to unlace the woman's...
It's like, I'm hungry. She's like,
we
I just
didn't
fed
see
you.
it. It didn't happen, so thanks, show, for not showing us that again. And she
Do we have
wouldn't
to see
help.
those people ever again?
Yeah, we do. I don't think she ever breastfeeds them again, if that helps.
Okay. As long as that doesn't
And
happen.
she refused to help. She didn't send any troops. What do you
She's
think of
kind
that?
of worthless.
She is kind of worthless. She wanted to protect her creepy son.
Ugh.
Doesn't want to involve him.
Family is so weird.
But then they meet up. So Robb is like out in force now. He has his tents, he has his soldiers, and Catelyn is coming. And I thought it might be a good time to show you and people out there where this is all happening. Because I know that you had a question about
I did.
like, the geography.
I asked for a map, and ta-da!
Okay.
Dan followed through.
Bam! It's a map of Westeros. Look at that. Okay. Okay, this is nice. Okay, so we got Winterfell is up here. It's like the north.
Those look like cups of milk.
They do look like cups of milk. I don't think they are. but they do.
Glasses.
I agree with you. I think they're like little flags, like hanging from
That's more
wooden
realistic.
rods, but they do. So Winterfell, that's where the Starks are. Go a little north. Here's the wall of where
Okay.
Jon Snow's hanging out. And then if I can go south. All the way down here is King's Landing.
Okay.
So that's where, obviously all the worlds are hanging out. And this is where Breastfeed Lady lives, up in
Okay.
the Vale, the Eyrie, in the mountains. And
Surprised
then,
it's not the twins.
very nice. Okay.
It's too easy. Sorry. Okay.
No, that was calling out. It's even white. And then
Oh my gosh.
everyone is meeting kind of in this area, the Riverland. So Robb's coming down from the north, and then Catelyn's coming from the Eyrie. The Lannisters are coming from over here and over in King's Landing. So this is where everyone's kind of meeting in the middle. It's where a battle's going to happen.
Okay.
Or more like in this area. Because Robb has to cross a bridge to go get past the twins. He actually mentioned the twins. I'm not sure if you remember, which is funny enough. So does that give you an idea of where things are happening?
It does.
And then
I feel like I have a better understanding.
Daenerys is across the sea, over in this, like over here somewhere.
Okay.
This other whole of the continent.
Got it.
Good. Helps too. Geography is fun.
I'm a visual learner.
This is perfect then.
It is.
Anyway, so they meet back up, and they're just going to start, going to war. And finally, Tyrion had some fun times this episode.
He's always getting himself into just sticky situations and getting out.
But yeah, he gets out of them. He's able to talk his way out of them. He's smart like that. What'd you think of his scene where the tribes of the Vale, which are just kind of angry hill people, it's kind of like, savages in a way, kind of accost him and his buddy Bronn, and he gets out of it.
He always gets out of it with that Lannister name.
And it's just to help, doesn't it? I mean, if you can, I don't know, it's just bribes.
I feel like he's always, making promises. But from what we've seen so far, he usually follows through.
Yeah, he gave the jailer his little pack of gold there.
Yep.
And he, tried to give these hill people, who are I can't remember their name. They're tribes of the Vale. We'll call them hill people.
Okay.
They're good due. And he also had a scene with his father, Tywin Lannister. What do you think that relationship was like?
I think he's kind of like the one that always got in trouble.
Right.
I don't know. They have it's not a bad relationship between them, I don't think. And I wonder if, didn't the mom die giving birth to him?
Yeah.
So I wonder if the dad kind of holds that against him in some way, maybe?
Well, he didn't seem terribly happy to see him, did he?
No.
I mean, for all he knows, he's dead.
They don't hate each other, but they don't necessarily get along.
That's your impression? Okay.
He kind of seems like, the troublesome kid that is always causing him grief.
We'll see if that impression changes as the show goes on.
Okay.
But I was there. And then finally, go up to the wall for some spookiness.
This was weird.
Just tell me what happened.
Well, 2 bodies are brought back from
Beyond the wall.
Beyond the wall.
It's like when his dog, or his direwolf, got popped out that arm.
Yeah,
The God's
I've
Wood.
seen an arm. That was weird.
One of their
They
dead bodies.
appear to be dead. They're what was it that Samwell said? He said they don't smell.
Right, they don't smell. Which is bizarre.
Yeah, that's weird. So then that night, John's dog wakes him up. Does his dog have a name?
Yeah, Ghost.
Ghost.
It's a direwolf, to be completely
Direwolf,
accurate.
not dog. Is barking, wakes him up. He follows the dog into the chambers of
the Lord Commander, who's just the Lord Commander J.R. Mormont, who's the head guy at the Night's Watch.
the head guy. And he's calling his name, and then all of a sudden, a guy kind of attacks him from behind, and it's one of the guys that was dead.
Right.
What is that?
How's that happening? How's that possible?
White Walkers, I think.
White Walkers, man. And so we're getting multiple different stories here. And are you concerned at all that there are basically killer zombies in the north. But
Do they make people zombies when they kill them?
I think it's the implication. They weren't zombies before, and now they are.
Well,
And I think Sam gives that little talk about he read in a book a long time ago, the White Walkers touch someone to become a zombie later. So are you concerned that there are killer zombies up way in the north?
Yep.
But down here, no one is paying attention to that. They're all talking about the kings and they're infighting about who's going to rule the throne. Does that really matter in the grand scheme of things if zombies are going beyond the wall, going to attack?
Do they only live in cold climates?
They live north of the wall. And I don't know if they have to live in cold climates, but they do because that's way up north and it's cold in the north.
So are they going to come south?
Are they? That's the question. I think it'd be very dangerous if they did. And
I would agree.
Actually, it's sort of, we got the zombies in the north, we got the infighting, the royal kind of secession war in the middle of Westeros. We also got a whole other story happening on Essos. We visited Daenerys briefly this week too, not really briefly. And I liked these scenes. What did you think of them? Where Daenerys, or the Khalasar kind of sacks a random village, of innocent people, and Daenerys does her best to...
She wants to save them.
She does.
And the witch people.
Is it too little too late? So she wants to save them, and she does keep the women from being raped, but she's also married to a guy who's doing this, and he says, this is just the way it works in war.
I think she's good for them. I think she's trying to turn things around.
Gotcha.
Slowly but surely. It doesn't happen overnight, but she's
you're right,
she's doing
I
her
guess.
part.
Doing her part. Okay, I can take that, because it doesn't sound like she intends to dispute what they said. They're going to sell these people to slavers, get gold, and buy ships, take her to Westeros. I'm not sure she's going to put a stop to that. Is it good enough to like put a Band-Aid on this problem, or should she be doing more to kind of?
I think she's doing as much as she can for now.
All right. I mean,
If she does too much, I feel like a couple of those guys are going to just take her out.
that's a really good point because they did have some
They are a
resistance
little
to her.
upset right now. Yeah.
Because she is. I mean, she isn't one of them. She is a foreigner. The guy said. It's not like she's a Dothraki lady.
Right.
So he was upset. And then there's that disgusting fight scene where Khal Drogo fights one of his rebellious underlings, and remember, I'm sure you remember this, tears out his tongue.
Ew, yes, that was disgusting.
That was gross.
That was insane.
That was
he
insane.
like basically fought him without anything.
Yeah, fun story. I think that was actually suggested by the actor. That seemed as not in the books. He wanted to like have a fight scene where he proved how tough he was.
All of a sudden, it was just like, and then he rips it out. That's how it happened.
Where's that rank on how disgusting things in Game of Thrones yet?
I don't know.
Between
Does
the
it get
gold
worse than
before the
that?
rank? I mean, it's pretty bad.
The horse beheading was a big one.
Okay.
I feel like another
Golden
horse.
Head. and
Oh
there's,
yeah, that wasn't. I mean that was gross, but
Now that you've seen this, it's like that's nothing.
that was probably the tongue thing was probably worse.
Okay.
Probably the worst one we've seen yet.
We'll keep a catalog. And then one of the people that they conquered, Miri Mazdur, not the new character, volunteered to help out. What's your impression of her?
Is she the witchcraft lady?
Yeah.
I think she's. I mean, I don't think she's bad yet. They don't like her. They think she's.
Because they're kind of xenophobic for Dothraki.
Yeah.
Like they are. If you're not a Dothraki, you're kind of lame. And
Well, and then
I mean,
they think she's
clearly
full
think
of
nothing of these
witchcraft,
people.
and that's scary to them and
Right.
unpredictable. But I think she's trying to help in any way she can, since technically Daenerys kind of saved her.
Right. Okay. We'll see if that gets borne out.
I don't know.
Any other questions about this episode before we wrap it up for the day?
I think you've answered them all, Dan.
Good. I'm great that way. We're back next. Oh, do we have any questions?
Nothing but the segment. Julie Davies, big superfan from Australia.
Oh, hey, Julie Davies.
Again, mainly for you, Dan. Do you think Dorne and the Vale will play a big part in season 7?
Hey, Julie. Will Dorne and the Vale play a big part in season 7? I'm not sure they'll play a big part. I think they'll definitely play parts. Looks to be the way it's going. The Vale is more of a part of the story than it ever has been, with Littlefinger, leading the Knights of the Vale to Winterfell. Could definitely happen. Dorne, we all have problems with Dorne, but they're also part of the Alliance. So the show's going to have to deal them in and deal with them. I don't think they're going to eclipse what's happening in the North or King's Landing or anything, but yeah, I think they're definitely part of season 7. Anything else?
Let's see. Zach D is also just wondering for the next season, do you happen to think Jon will find out about his half Targaryen ancestry, and who do you think his father is if you're for sure it's Rhaegar?
If it's not Rhaegar?
Yeah, it's not Rhaegar.
Okay.
I think it is.
Zach D, will Jon find out about his half Targaryen ancestry? He better. I mean, they can't stretch that out much longer, can they? That'd be boring. You should find it out next year, or.
I actually kind of heard about this when someone was trying to explain it
I
to
mean,
me.
it's going to happen. You're going to hear things. You do a show where we talk about things that are going to happen. There's no way it won't happen. I think he will, or if he doesn't, I will be a little upset because I'll feel teased, and I want him to find out and react, and for there to be a big hubbub about it.
Hullabaloo.
Hullabaloo?
Hullabaloo.
Hullabaloo and hubbub.
Hullabaloo.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
All right. Well, good episode. Good knocked it out of the park in this one. Map, pointy end, spoilers. We'll be back next week with more Game of Thrones spoilers, more Game of Thrones news, and we'll talk about Kayla Knierim's viewing of Baelor, the all-important 9th episode of season 1.
That'll do
See
it
you
for us
guys.
today. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye-bye.